Hi everybody, it's Mary Jo from Mary Jo's Creations, and I haven't really been doing well with my fibromyalgia. I've been just a little tired, and so I haven't really worked on this very much. I also, when I have been crocheting, I've also been working on a little project for myself. I made my first um, bralette top, and I'm working on a pair of shorts to match. And when they're done, I will definitely show you. But I just haven't been feeling well, so I haven't been working on this, and just, in my downtime, working on a project for myself just to relax. But I do want to get this finished. Now, I did a row of single crochets all the way around the front and around the bottom to give it a little more structure. Now, I'm finishing up the cardigan, and then all I have left are the sleeves. And I do want to finish these off hopefully today, but I don't know how much of that I'm going to catch on film. Um, Again, I wish I could like record more and then piece it together, but unfortunately at the moment I can't do that because I just don't have the capability of doing it. I don't have a camera. I'm just using my phone, and I don't think my phone has enough memory because I've tried to download some apps on my phone to edit, and I just can't get them to work. They're slow. It might be my phone's capability, or just not have enough open space on my phone to be able to work the app properly. So I'm trying to figure all of that out. And until I do that, I'm just going to film them on my phone and give you kind of like some raw footage of what's going on. Now, what I'm going to be doing on this today is just I'm going to do one more round of single crochets on the bottom of this cardigan. And then when I get to the sides, I'm going to do a row of half double crochets around it. And then I'm going to go into the dark green. I would like to finish this off with a purple edge, the purple trim. I'm still trying to figure it out. For me, when I like to create things, like especially these cardigans, they kind of all come out a little bit different because it depends on how I feel about the piece. To me, this is art, and although I do like use the same techniques more or less, there are like two or three that I like to finish my cardigans in, depending on how I'm feeling about that particular cardigan. And so in this one, I want to do it just maybe a little bit different. Also, this one is not for me, so with the sleeves, I have to kind of wing it of how long they're going to be, because I do have pretty long arms, and in order for, this isn't for me, I might do the sleeves just a tad bit shorter than it would be if I'm making it for myself. And so I'm still in the process of figuring out exactly how I want to do it. And like I said, for me, this is like wearable art. I like being a little creative with every piece I make, just to make it a little bit more different, a little unique. And I love that. So I'm going to be crocheting this up a little bit, and then when I'm done with this video, I will keep working on it, and I will keep making the sleeves and finishing it off. And once it's done, I will show you the finished product. I would love to be able to film all of it and shrink it or edit it to a point where you can see me throughout the entire process of making it. But like I said before, unfortunately at this time, I don't have the capability of doing that. And hopefully in the future, I will be able to do more videos like that where you get to see the whole process of me making one single project. Especially these cardigans, they do take a while. When you start working them up, they're easy and they're fun, and in a couple of hours you can have one whole panel done. The hardest part, in my opinion, the part that takes the longest, is actually assembling it and finishing off the sleeves, doing the trim around the entire cardigan. That, I believe, takes the most time. And it's also the time where you can be a little bit more creative with the final product, because obviously the right and left panels are going to be exactly the same. They're going to, be hexy cardigans. The shape is the same for all the cardigans, regardless of how you do it, unless you do like mixed, where, instead of just doing it all in just granny stitch, you can do it with granny stitch and half double crochets. I'm going to play around with that too. But when you're doing a solid granny stitch hexy cardigan, the side panels are always going to be the same. What sets apart, I think, each cardigan one from the other is the way it's finished, the way it's put together. Some people put granny squares down the back and attach the granny squares. Some people do it the way I do it, where they seam the back of it together. But even that way, it's always different. Some people do a slip stitch to stitch them together. Some people do the granny clusters and attach them that way. And so it's just like they're attached with you can't tell the difference, because it's all done in the same stitch as the cardigan. I believe that's how Passionate Kelsey attaches hers. If you watch her, she's awesome. I've learned so much from her, but that's how she attaches hers. And so everybody does it a little bit different. Anyone who creates them does them a little bit different, attaches them a little bit different. I like attaching mine where first I do once I'm done with the extension rows on the back, I like to do a row of single crochets all the way down each side, and then I sew them together, and that gives them a seamless look. And it also looks a little bit different in the back, because it's not going straight into the granny stitch. It looks like a solid line, if you see that. If you can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like a solid line going through the back of stitches. And I think it looks a little bit more unique that way. And that's one of the things I love about crochet, is because, like I've said before, you can all be making the same more or less style, which is everybody does. A lot of people do hexy cardigans, but because of the way they're attached and the way the sleeves are made and the way the borders are made, they all look different. And I think that that is so cool. Now, I'm sorry. I want to switch this right here. I did the single crochet all the way down the back, if you could see that. It's just a single crochet on this corner where I'm turning. I'm going to go right into the middle loop, and I'm going to do 3 half double crochets to make that corner. See, there it is. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. I hope you could see what I'm doing. In this middle stitch in the center of the corner, I'm going to do 3 half double crochets. And then for the border of the sides, I'm going to do a half double crochet all the way around. And then that's going to be the end of this color. And like I said before, I'm going to do as much of this as I possibly can with you on camera. I don't want to make this video too long. So whatever you see me crocheting, I'm actually doing it in real time. And then I'll cut the video off with wherever I finish. And I will keep working on the cardigan throughout the day. And once I'm done with it, I will post another video of it completed and get your thoughts on how it looks. And again, what I'm doing, the videos that I'm making, they're not to really teach anybody. It's just to document the journey that I've gone through learning crochet and making things. And it's really helped me. It's helped me with my fibromyalgia. It's helped me with stress and anxiety. And I'm hoping that, you know, someone sees these videos and it can help them. They can pick up a new craft. You might not want to do this to make a business or sell things like I would like to do, hopefully one day. And I do have an Etsy page where I have some of my finished products. And again, I've only really just started a few months ago, so I don't have a lot up there right now. My goal for the rest of the year is to keep making things, whether it's cardigans or granny stitch market bags. I do want to do a bag of granny squares where it's a bunch of different granny squares. There's a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of ideas that I have. I want to make some more shawls. I have one shawl that you will be seeing in my next video, which is going to be of all the things that I've made so far this year. I was going to do that video first. However, since this has been taking way too long for my liking, I normally don't like to take more than 4 to 5 days to finish a cardigan. And it always depends on how I feel because of the fibro, or if I'm working on, two things at once like I usually do, but sometimes I get so hyper focused on one instead of dividing my focus in between the two of them. And it might take me a little bit longer, like a week. But all the cardigans that I've made so far for myself have taken me anywhere between 3 to 5 days. And I know some people, they might think that's too long. Some people might think that's fast. I mean, it all depends on how you crochet. Some people crochet faster than others. I think I'm kind of maybe in the middle, although I have had people tell me that I crochet quickly, and it's just practice. I've literally, even if it's only for, you know, an hour at night, or, little bits here and there during the day, I have tried to pick up my hook, and I think I have maybe like 1 or 2 days I might have gone without crocheting, but for the most part, I have, since I've picked up my hook a year and a half ago, I believe I have literally crocheted every single day since then. And again, even if it was only for an hour that day because I wasn't feeling well, I have picked up my hook and crocheted. And that's why I think I'm a little bit faster than most people. It's just practice. And there are some stitches where I can do it without looking, and there are some that I can't. And I think it just takes practice. It just takes working at it. But one of the reasons that I love crocheting so much is that it takes a long time, and a lot of people are on their phones all the time, and you're on your phone for 2-3 hours scrolling. And I like to do that too sometimes, and it's cool. But when you're doing that, at the end, you really don't have anything to show for it. Maybe some knowledge, but really nothing to show for it. Me sitting here and crocheting for an hour, hour and a half, because I honestly can't do more than that at a time because of my condition. I have to take breaks. So, I'll crochet all day long, but it's in like, an hour and a half here, an hour and a half there. In total, I might crochet for like 6 hours, if that, 7 hours. I don't think I've ever crocheted for 8 hours in a day, but unfortunately, because of my condition, it's just how I have to do it. And I don't want to push myself to the point where I'm in a lot of pain and then I can't function for 2 days. Because if anyone who knows me watches this, you'll know that I sometimes tend to do that. I might push myself just a little bit harder, and then I'm no good for 2 or 3 days. And so I don't want to do that. I like to just keep it to where I do accomplish something within a day, but not to the point where I'm going to hurt myself. And that's why like I work in like hour and a half intervals. At the most I might sit in one session is 2 hours, and then I stop, and then I take a break for a little while, and then I'll come back to it when I feel better again. And the reason why I'm sharing this is with you guys is because I know there are people out there who have the same condition that I do, or other conditions that cause you pain. And I just want you to know that where it might be difficult, and it is difficult, hold on a second. We did that one. It is finished. Let me just stretch it out. All right. I like to do this going around. I do have a slight bit of a tight tension when I crochet. Not as tight as some people, but tighter than most. So I like to go around the whole thing. But before I show you, I just want to finish. I know there are a lot of people out there who have the same condition as I do, and it's hard because you're in pain almost more than half of the day, to a point where you can't function really, and it's hard. I know I do what I have to be able to bring the pain down to a certain extent to where I can actually function normally. And again, that's not for an entire day. It might be 6 hours out of the day, 7 hours out of the day, where I can actually do something like crochet and straighten up the house, wash dishes. Sometimes the pain's so bad I can't wash dishes, but I just keep pushing. And I'm saying all of this to say that if you are in my position and you suffer from chronic pain, you can do it too. You won't be able to do it like some of these brilliant crochet artists that are out there who crochet for 8-9 hours in a row, or, you know, work for 12 hours in a day. And that's okay. You don't have to. You're not them. As long as if you want to learn how to crochet and you want to do it, whether, like I said, whether it's for a business or whether it's for you, make your own stuff, you know, make blankets and you can donate them, or you can make them as gifts. There are some people who really appreciate handmade gifts, and there's people who have birthdays birthdays are all year round. There's someone has a birthday every month. You have someone who has a birthday. If they like handmade stuff, you can do it and make it for them. Make them blankets, make them hats, do whatever it is that they like, that you enjoy to make. And that way you're not spending as much on gifts, and to some people those gifts mean more. And you can do that if you want to learn and you think that it's hard because you have a condition that has you in pain. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it little by little, a few hours here, a few hours there. And in the end, you will have something that's beautiful, whether it's for you, whether it's to give as a gift, or whether it's to sell. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I just want this vlog to be a motivation to people that you don't have to do it the same way as everybody else. You don't have to spend as much time as everybody else because you physically can't, but you can do that your way and still come out with beautiful things that people will love. And again, like my wardrobe has grown so much just over the last 7 months, and everything I have, from a bunch of cardigans, I've made tank tops. Now I've made 3 pairs of shorts, and I have a beautiful wardrobe that I can wear, and I'm proud because I made it myself. And some of the items would cost a lot of money to buy them handmade. So I'm very proud of myself for that. But now I'm going to finish talking, and I'm going to show you what it looks like with the border so far. I need to turn my sleeves around because this is inside out. And don't mind my shorts. These are a pair that I made, but I like to wear them around the house. So here is how it's looking so far. Now, the length even though I'm not going to make it too much longer, I could actually cut this off. 1 second, guys. We're going to cut that right there. We don't need that anymore. We're done with this color. And now, if you can see, the length is a little bit shorter than some of the ones I normally make or that I've made for myself. But I'm still not done with the border. And if you could see the way the border is starting to look, I'm still not done with the border. So once the border is completely finished, it is going to be a tad bit longer. And then the sleeves, I might make them up to there on me. I normally like to put them down to here for myself, but I might put them up to there because I do have very long arms. And again, this one is not for me. So I will finish this up. And when I'm done, I will come back and show you the final project. And on that note, I want to say thank you for stopping by. I hope you watched the video all the way to the end. And if you want to leave a comment on the bottom, leave a comment on the bottom. Hit the thumbs up, give me a like, and you can subscribe to my channel. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. I hope you stick around. I hope you come back and go on this journey with me. And I just want to say thank you, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.